chatting over the last couple of days.
Yes, we did.
And I looked at your info sheet. You guys have met really two of the most impressive people
Absolutely.
I've ever gotten before.
Yeah.
Yours was Kofi Annan.
Yes.
All right, where do you meet Kofi Annan?
Well, so I was working as a network administrator for United Nations, and he came for an event. What actually was remarkable meeting him was he said, we have to always focus on outcomes. Because when we invest in projects, what really matters is what we can show for the investment. And that has taken me all along in my career, focusing on how customers can meet outcomes whenever they invest.
All right, great. And what were you doing for him?
I was a network administrator.
Okay, so fixed his computer? Or?
Fixed computer and networks.
All right, great. That's pretty impressive. You're a good guy too, right? Super sweet?
He's a nice guy, really nice.
I bet. And you met?
I met Edwin.
Buzz
Edwin Aldrin, the second man on the moon.
Yeah. All right, where was that?
It was at an airport.
Okay, not at NASA or anything, right? But still, it's a good place to meet Buzz Aldrin, an airport. All right, what was that conversation like?
We had a pretty interesting conversation. So he spoke on rockets, I spoke on secure access, more rockets, secure access, and finally, more rockets, secure access. And at some point he dug deep into his intellectual genius and he said, secure access, it ain't rocket science, is it?
Come on, that's pretty good, not too bad. All right, and we're going to give a quick customer success overview, huh?
Awesome, yes.
All right, take it away, gentlemen.
Okay, so thanks everyone for being here. I understand this is late in the evening and you may be a little bit tired, but we'll try to boost you up just so you can work through the next couple of 30 minutes just so we can go through this session. We're here to talk about leveraging customer success. All along this session, you'll be hearing about secure access for people, devices, things, and services. And customer benefits, they want to boost productivity, they want more visibility on the devices that are connected to the networks, but also most importantly, they want to comply to certain regulations within the organization. To get started, I just have one big message here for everyone today. We want you to understand how to sell our premium services, but most importantly, we want you to see how the customer success organization can help you retire more product fastly and also help deliver customer success to the end customers. To get started, I have one quick question for everyone. How many appliances should a customer have in order to make them qualify for a CSM Lite service?
0. Hint, look at the car. 0.
8. Someone said 8. Okay, so the number is 8. You have the card in front of you. Can you guys look at the card? Anyone has a magic number? CSM Lite, the one on the right, on the back of the card? Okay, up to 8. Awesome, that's great. So basically, as we move along this session, I want you to start figuring out what customers you have in your install base that are of this size and that may eventually qualify to leverage our CSM service. And then we'll talk to you about what is the CSM service, what it entails, and how you position it in a way that you can actually win. So we just look at this view right here. The reason we have this card, we just wanted to take something away because we know we're coming in late in the afternoon. It may be easy to forget. This thing was designed with the services of the customer success manager in mind. What you see in the middle there is a navigator. So usually when you travel from point A to point B, although you may understand the directions, at times you don't know if there's traffic. You don't know if there's a toll gate. You don't know if there's some other challenges you may run into. The customer success manager is that service that accompanies you through your secure access journey. They know things that can help you be more successful as you move forward. So as we go through this service, think more about a guide that can help your customers achieve the outcomes for which they invest across Secure. So to get started, I just want to, just remind everyone of the things that Prakash went over in terms of the product. All our services and products are based on top of the product portfolio. And you can see that, as Prakash mentioned earlier on, we are evolving. It's an evolution here at Pulse. I know Prakash is looking at me right there. We just want to make sure you guys get that message. So we have Zero Trust, and there's a whole migration to microservices, DevOps. We have the Pulse Access Suite that kind of englobe all of those together. but we are coming in from the top, customer success perspective. So as we talk about these services here today, look at them as how can they help you, concretize some of the things that you've seen here, be it on the SDP, Zero Trust, or all the other services that you will be presenting, to your partners or to the end customers directly. So that said, we have a few things that we'll be looking at here today.
So we have a fantastic set of things we want to talk to you about. First of all, 2018 in numbers. We'll talk about winning with CSM. I think it's a very important concept that we set out to introduce in 2018, which is going to carry forward through 2019. We'll talk about the services business and what it looks like ahead of us, ending it with the call to action.
Awesome, that's great. So in your mind, I always talk about top three. I know someone mentioned that the sales guy want to understand three things. The first is want to talk about how we did as an organization in 2018. The second is want to talk about an example of a customer where these things were applied and it made a significant difference. And then next we want to talk about what do we have to offer, what can you sell? And then we'll talk about the call to action. Next. So to get started, I want to say a remarkable thank you to all the sales team. For those of you that I've met one-on-one, I've told you that although my job is challenging, there's nothing as hard as to convince someone to pull out a credit card and pay you some money. That's a very difficult thing to do. I mean, if you try to ask me to pay you $10, you're going to show me a lot of demos, you're going to prove me why you're more important than a competitor, and that is not easy. And Q4 in itself was a phenomenal quarter for our sales portfolio, from the cases, the services that were sold, Platinum, CSM, and for that I want to say a big thank you to the entire sales team. The next set of folks that I want to thank specifically is the engineering team, right? So if you're from engineering here, can you just stand for 1 second if you're from engineering? Okay, they went back. So this team, besides taking the charge and delivering the SDP and future-looking products here at Vault Secure, we constantly work with them to ensure that we continue to support existing customers, and that is not always easy because they juggle two things at the same time. At this moment we're speaking, we actually have 2 of our engineers that couldn't make it to SKL. They're currently in the UK at one of our largest customers, helping to resolve issues. So we appreciate them. You know, in the UK now it's winter, right? So these guys are flying out all the way from Bangalore to India in winter, leaving their families back home. So for them, I want to give a good hand of applause. And finally, I want to thank the support team, the folks that accompany me in all this vision that we strategize and help to execute on. If you're from the support team, please stand. Awesome, great, thank you all. So now let's look at how did we do. So again, this is the first section. We talked about 2018 in numbers. We started off this journey by measuring what we call Net Promoter Score. And I'm going to say how this is relevant. Initially, when we went live on August 2015, our Net Promoter Score was -7. By the end of 2015, we climbed up to +3. What is important here is not the number. +49 is a very high number in our industry because a Net Promoter Score of 40 is considered decent. So we have +49, but what is important is that year after year we are making progress. Year after year we're making progress based on our systems, based on our processes, and we continue to do that. How is this number relevant to the sales team? When you go to a customer that you're talking to, they're wondering, will I get support when I buy this thing? When something goes wrong, do I have somebody that I can call? This number is an indicator. You can show them, you can talk to them about it, and say our NPS score is not only high, but it's a number that is growing year over year. And I'll talk about some of the things that we have decided today in our customer success offsite that will even help to make these numbers better in 2019. In terms of the volume, just so you have a rough idea on what we do, in 2018, we look at customer satisfaction ratio. What this is a number that when we resolve a customer issue, we send them a survey to say, how do you feel about that interaction? Do you have any feedback? That's a number out of 10. We currently ranking at 8.7 out of 10. It's an improvement from last year. We were 8.6, 8.7. We resolved 37,000 customer cases in 2018. That number has declined from 40,000 in 2017. And the reason for that decline is the number of people that are using our KDs. You can see we have 800,000 views on our KD system today. What that is people are using the KD to solve low complex issues that they could solve it by themselves without having to contact support. So this is a phenomenal report for us. But most importantly, I want to talk also about the premium services progression, right? So how we've done in terms of the market adopting the services.
Right, so we've consistently grown the count of premium services that we've offered. So if you look at the chart, we've grown about 30% from 2016, growing the number of customers that bought Platinum to close to 1,000 customers. And then if you look at the CSMs, that has significantly grown as well. So the growth in the adoption of premium services is very significant, and that is directly reflected in the NPS scores and so on and so forth, which is a testament of how loyal our customers are for PulseSecure products.
Right, so basically the question we're looking at is, if you sell these services, will people buy it? And the answer is yes. Year after year, more and more customers are adopting these services. And what we look at here are some numbers. This is what we want.
Yeah, so Anselm talked about plus 49 being our NPS. Any guesses on what the 60 and the 85 represent? Anyone?
Anyone? What could 60 plus possibly mean? It's an NPS number.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So what the 60 represents is basically the NPS that our Platinum customers, we get from our Platinum customers, and the 85 is from our CSM customers. So going back to the whole idea of selling premium services, you can see that the loyalty index for our Platinum services and the CSM customers are exceedingly high, and that represents a high degree of customer satisfaction from their perspective.
Awesome. And then basically what this means, in other sense, is that if you sell Platinum services, the customers are more happy. A Net Promoter Score is somebody who is extremely happy, that is even willing to be a reference for you in the next deal that you're working on. And again, this is something that it can help you in many ways. So some of the things that I heard just sitting here in the sales presentation, there are 4 things that are desirable. One is to present the VADC in all the quotes that you're working on. The second is to sell the enterprise suite. The third is to get new logos. And then the fourth, of course, is to retire 100% of your quota. Now, this NPS score is a very critical indicator that you have people that are extremely happy, that support has their names, we have their phone number, that they are willing to be a reference to you, so we can share this information and you can reach out to them and help you as you try to win more of these customers. Okay, so now we're going to look at how can you win by positioning the CSM service, right? So this is really the next section of our presentation. The first was to talk about how we did in 2018. We're going now into an actual use case where somebody actually presented the customer success manager service. You want to see what are the obstacles and how we overcome those obstacles. The message is that you too can win with the CSM service. So CSM, Customer Success Manager. I expect that after this session, when you meet me on the hallway, you will know what CSM is, Customer Success Manager it is. And you will also understand more about what are the features, what is included in it, how much it is, and who is the likely customer for the service. But in order to make it very clear, I want somebody in this hall that has actually positioned the service and that was successful, significant transformation into the account, to talk about how that happened. We have a quick video here. The video will play in a minute.
I'm Evan Frumberg, one of the sales leaders in the Americas.
And I'm Chris Kittajima, the Director of Worldwide Customer Success here out of San Jose.
We're so excited today. We wanted to share a little bit about the Customer Success Manager program. Chris, I know we've come a long way in 2018, some great accomplishments. We have big aspirations, I know you do, and Anselm, for 2019, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about and share our experiences with the rest of the teams.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. So thanks for all your support in 2018.
My pleasure.
And I know that you've sold quite a few accounts. So what's your secret?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about CSMs and everything first, it's hiring a great team, right? So I'm really excited for the work the team has done. The secret has really been addressing it early, giving customers awareness about what we're doing in the Customer Success Manager program, how it can help them, right? Establishing why we think it's so important for them. early in the process. I mean, this year was a big year in the sense that we really grew the number of accounts that use it. As you know, we have large financial institutions, large healthcare across the Houston region, and it's really helped us a lot as we've gone. Not only have we been able to add, but we had some customers using the service prior to 2018. And what we've seen is those customers renew on time, they seem really happy. What's your secret? Why are they so happy?
That's a good question, Evan. So the key piece would be customer journey mapping for these customers, really understanding what their concerns are, being customer focused and really understanding what their expectations are, and then stepping them through the way you step, and making sure that they know that they always have a trusted partner in us to make sure that things get done on time.
Sounds great.
So what does it mean as a salesperson to have a CSM with one of your strategic accounts?
Yeah, it means a lot, right? And my team is super appreciative of the work that your team has done, and it's a couple things. We essentially have, another person touching the account all the time. They're sharing information with their CSM that often they don't share with us. It really becomes a trusted advisor. Additionally, we can focus on other things, right? We have to continue to build funnel, we have to find new accounts, so it frees up time for us. And what we've noticed is that there's a level of intimacy that's built, and we ultimately wind up, learning faster about new opportunities. It helps us in what we're trying to do and cross-sell and upsell, to that account even further. So, it's really been successful. Maybe you could share with everybody what makes it different when you get a customer success manager versus regular support. What are the keys there for your team to differentiate the service?
Sure. The main point of difference is dedicated point of contact, proactive support, driving business outcomes, and a trusted partner and advisor in their account.
That sounds good. I mean, what I've seen is really anyone can use some of these services. Like for the new people, we offer it in 90-day increments, we offer it annually. And I think the advice that I would give, most of the sales teams is it has to be positioned early, but it really can be offered to anyone. Certainly accounts that are purchasing a certain amount of Pulse Secure over a certain dollar amount, maybe 100,000 or more should be considered, but it's really about how they're using our technology. Are they using advanced suites? Are they using enterprise? Are they using some of the advanced feature set that we're doing? And that's really where Customer Success Manager helps the account to adopt quicker, which will lead to incremental sales in the future.
Thanks, Evan. That's been very helpful. If people need more information about the service offerings, they're on our support pages. And is there any other advice for any of the sales reps?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, engage the support organization, the customer success manager team early. You've been a great help to me and my team. You've been a big part of our success. We really appreciate it. What I would say to my fellow Pulsers is the secure access journey can be a difficult one. It's lots of obstacles and things to overcome. The CSM team is who we work with to help overcome those obstacles. They've been a great help in really helping us deliver secure access to our customers.
All right. Isn't that awesome? That's a CSM service. We have real customers that are going through these services. We do have some quite a bit of opportunities and install base today that can also leverage this opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's extremely exciting to see what is the untapped opportunity. Clearly, we've sold CSM, but if you looked at the accounts in which we could have sold CSMs over a period of time, we have about 210 accounts in total that kind of classify with the criteria that we define are ideal for CSM or CSM Lite. And we have the names, we have the list. We're happy to share with whoever needs the details. The more important thing is the dollars on the table is significant. So if you looked at all these accounts, we looked at the average sale price for CSMs that go into this, we have about $12.5 million of untapped opportunity that's on the table. So that's a tremendous amount of opportunity which all of you can tap into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, also the point is that when you look at our service offering, besides the CSM, we also have the platinum support, right? So 2 years ago when I came at SKO, I was screaming about selling platinum services. Sell platinum, sell platinum, sell platinum. And as you can see on the graph that we looked at, we did have a lot of customers that bought into the platinum service. Platinum actually enhances the customer experience, for one. But the other thing that also it helps the sales team on the other side is that there is a 33% uplift in the platinum. So just by selling platinum, you can accelerate how fast you can reach your quota by up to 33%, right? So you have more revenue per deal that you close. Then, you may be wondering, if I just add platinum in my core, will a customer buy? And based on the experience that we have had in the last couple of years, 40% of the time, customers will not ask a question. If you start the quote with a platinum service quoted, they will go ahead and buy 40% of the time. So these are real opportunities in our system. Then also the platinum service, in the situations where the customer may not be ready to go all the way to CSM, starting with platinum enable you to come back at a later point and upsell them to the CSM service. And the reason for that is that the platinum service is a requirement to get CSM. So if the customer does not have platinum, it's just a higher uphill for them to plan to buy the CSM service at that point. But what are some of the benefits that a customer will get when they buy the platinum services?
So there are three key benefits. The first one is a single point of support. So when you single contact of support, so when you call the number, you get the same person to talk to you. And that's extremely vital. I mean, imagine trying to explain your issue or situation to every different person each time you make the phone call. So you have one person who understands the problem, who can root cause it, and get you the answers. The second key benefit is the level of technical expertise you can expect with the CSM. So we directly get a L3, which typically in the case of Pulse is someone who has 8+ years of product experience across the portfolio. So that's a very high level of technical expertise you can expect from your CSM. The L1s and the L2s do a phenomenal job in their own area of domain expertise, but when you hit a L3, you can be sure that you've hit the highest level of technical expertise you can get on the product. The third and the most important thing is customer loyalty. You establish a relationship of trust with your CSM, and that's most vital. You have a point of contact whom you can rely on, whom you can depend on when you are in the most dire situation that you can think of. So that's the key, three key things that I can think of.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the customer satisfaction from the customer perspective is phenomenal, right? So all the EBCs I've been in where there is a CSM assigned, I always like to get happy customers pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the service. So I always ask them, how's our CSM doing? And I can tell you 100% of the time, they don't say he's doing good, they say it's been phenomenal, right? So it's really a great service. The other thing that it's really critical for you as a salesperson is that the CSM resource is kind of like your CIA agent into the account. They will tell you when people move out. They'll tell you when the customer buys a new company. They'll tell you what projects they're working on, what strategy thing is going on within the account. They can help you in terms of QBRs, schedule meeting with people upstream in the company. So there's a lot of benefits that you can have by positioning that. But most importantly, if you listen to what Evan says, it takes off cycles from the sales guy. So when you sell, you want to move forward and go to the next deal. You don't want to be bumped into an account where the customer is calling you and requesting a lot more services that the CSM could have helped them deliver. So the question really is, how are we different? Because when we look at our service portfolio, I don't want to look at Pulse itself as a bubble. I always wonder, how would we be different if this was F5, if this was Palo Alto Network or Fosca? How are our services different from these other competitors? We categorize our service based on the diversity of the portfolio in terms of the number of services that a customer can buy and how that can help them meet their business needs, the cost effectiveness of the savings, fast response, which is a combination of easier access to higher skill resources and rapid resolution time. So these are some of the things that we try to compare ourselves with other vendors. And the reason this is important is when you tell someone Pulse Secure Support is better than F5, for example, and they ask you why, you should be able to answer that question. The more device services that can help you meet your needs, faster access to high skill resources. The team that we have here, the folks that are sitting there, they're over 50 years of experience in Pulse products. We have folks that have been there more than 13 years, and we have a really good system to retain and extend knowledge within our support organization. But most importantly, we have this chart that shows how other companies compete with us.
Yeah, we've done some detailed analysis on where different vectors of comparison actually fall. So you look at pricing, you look at enablement, you look at expert services, response time, which is another key characteristic of support services, and of course special services. So when you compare all of these, there are tiers which are which every other vendor kind of does the same thing. So when you offer self-service, for example, people have KB articles and so on and so forth. But when you look at the nitty-gritty details on what kind of special services you offer, we are truly differentiated in those respects.
Absolutely. And then the point is the journey. The journey. How do we continue from here on? I could talk about this journey from where we started all the way, but I will not be doing justice to it. I wanted someone who lives and breathes this every day to talk about what it means to put in place a customer success team and how we can scale that moving forward. And I have our Director of Customer Success, Christopher Kitejima, who will join us here to talk about this journey.
Thank you, Ansem. So as you can see, 2016, we were just in survival mode. We were just trying to get the team up to speed. Yeah, as you said, our average tech support guys have an average of 8 to 10 plus years, right? So we're already a trusted advisor. As you can see, we're bringing awareness to our program in 2017 and 2018. As you've heard, the CSM program is expanding, but where we're looking to in the next year in 2019 and 2020 is to expand and standardize our customer experience, which that also means trying to increase the adoption rate. Customers are adopting our products faster and seeing value out of our product in a quicker amount of time. What that means for sales, right, is that basically you're able to talk back to the customer and basically upsell and cross-sell in a short amount of cycles.
Awesome, that's great. And we do have a few customers. This is just a sample list of customers that have actually bought into the services.
Yeah, just like I said, this is not all of them, but these are some key accounts that we are targeting to. If you see any accounts that are similar to yours, these are perfect targets for CSM.
Awesome, that's great. So thanks, Chris. So looking ahead, and this now is the next part of our presentation. Yeah. So now we've spoken about how we did in 2018. We've spoken about example where customer can actually, how you can position yourself with CSM. We've spoken about the journey we did to get here. I want to talk now about how do we move forward from here. And this is really important. Again, we're making this presentation in the context of how can we help the sales team be more successful in 2019. Again, the 4 things, position VADC on all your accounts, upsell people to enterprise suite, new logos, and repair 100% quota. How can this support team help in that? So we have some things that we think may be interesting, but in order to qualify those things, we have a set of questions. Pull up your app. Ajay, you just want to talk about some of this?
Yeah, so let's look at how the customer success team can help you sell more premium services in 2019. Would you like more training and webinars and service offerings? Provide contact details for NPS promoters, in a periodic manner. Provide customer deployment insights through our Customer 360 portal, which we'll talk about in a few slides, or share leads from customer interactions. If you pull up the app, if you can vote, we'll take a look at that.
Awesome, that's great. That's great.
Looking good. We'll keep going for 2 more seconds.
24 voters.
All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah, 26.
We're getting to a statistically significant number.
Questions are difficult on that. Questions are difficult.
Different order? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. 3 more seconds for the vote. And 1, then 2, then 3. So thank you for that. We have the next question. So this one we're looking at what services you believe are most valuable to your customers. We are thinking about a pulse check service. Again, we want customers that buy our secure access solutions to meet compliance. The pulse check is a PDF file that the CSM can provide the customer that grades their secure access performance. We're thinking about a keep your log files add-on. We've all heard about GDPR, we've heard about privacy out there. We're thinking about a service where if the customer runs into a problem, they will have their own infrastructure where they can store the file and then just send with a link to the support team. That way they can control on a US citizen access or whatever country. We're thinking about a service automation add-on. These are things that will help customers automate the issue resolution process. For example, collecting logs and providing logs to us. And then also we want to launch a new service which is Platinum for subscription to support our MSP and other new services that were presented earlier. So let's vote on those. So 10 seconds. Five, 4, 1. So thanks for that. Please continue to vote if you didn't have a chance. You can still vote, I believe so. The IT can let the app open so you can still vote there. Just give us that feedback. We want to prioritize. This is our DNA. We get feedback, we react to the feedback, and I can tell you next year when we come here, we will show you what we have done in this regard. But we do have a roadmap, right? So I want to talk about some of the things that we've done in 2018 and where we're going in 2019.
So the most significant aspect in 2018 was the CSM introduction of the CSM program. So when we looked at how the support initiative has transformed into the CSMs now are taking a bigger role, more than just handling support cases. They look at outcomes, they look at the customer experience, and they work with their customer to understand where they want to be 6 or 9 months from now, and ensure that they're working with them in order for them to achieve their desired KPIs in the allocated time frame.
Awesome, that's great. And then of course we're going to react to the responses that we get from the surveys, and we'll come back to you with additional issues that we'll work on in 2019. But we did have our customer success annual offsite. It's going on right now as we speak. And we work very collaborative to challenge ourselves to take our support to the next level. Currently we have 30 minutes response time for P1, and I want to announce that we are committed to moving that 30 minutes to 15 minutes response time for P1 cases. Now the second big structural change that we're doing is our SLAs to the sales team for GC escalation emails currently is 1 hour. Means that when you send an email that customer has a problem, within 1 hour somebody should respond. We're taking that down to 30 minutes. So someone should add that request within 30 minutes. And of course, we're improving our resolution time. We're reducing our average time to solve issues by 30%. And this is because we have a lot of efficiency we're building, and for the sales team, it means faster resolution time and happier customers. Now, the most important thing I want to share here, I think I have just a couple of minutes for Customer 360. The support team used to 37,000 cases. Used to 37,000 interactions with customers. We collect a lot of information. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. We collect a lot of information from customers, and we thought we could put together a Customer 360, which is a PDF file that you can upload, you can download from Salesforce when you're going to a customer site. It has everything that we know about these customers. So here's an example. You can see, are they Platinum customers? Do they have any alerts, like expired contracts? Do they have cases? What is their NPS? What solution they've deployed? You can see on the right there, we have PCS, we have VADC, you have the products that they've deployed. You also have things like, who are the key contacts in the account, right? You have also service contract, you have contracts that are expiring in there as well. You have the cases that they've opened and the status of those cases as well. And what is really important here is this one. I think this is my most favorite. So as we interact with customers, we ask them, what VPN do you guys use? What NAT do you guys deploy? What MDM do you guys have? What load balancer, what firewall, what email, and so on. And then we store this information here. If you're going to that account for a meeting, you can just export this as a PDF file, and then you can take it with you to the meeting. It just helps to let you understand what technologies the customers are using. So this is available as we speak in SFDC, but the information is not completely yet for all customers. We will start with the CSM customers, and then eventually in the next quarter or two, we will complete that for all 22,000 customers. And so the call to action here is?
All right, the mantra is very clear. Add DSAMs, CSMs, and Platinum support to all your opportunities. It will be truly transformational. It will transform your customer experience and take it to a whole new level.
Awesome. So DSAM is $35,000 list price. There are two variations of the CSM. CSM Lite It's 55,000. It's a renewable service. So basically, we talk about recurrent revenues, and then the full CSM is 132,000 list price. Platinum support is a 33% uplift from gold. So together, we can use those services to retire portal, deliver customer success, and then help the customers meet their outcomes. I want to just talk briefly about the team and the availability of services we have as my clock is running down. We are globally present. Worldwide, we offer 24/7 support, including weekends and holidays. So our lights are always on. You can reach out to us anytime. I'm currently talking to the folks out in the Middle East. I think Abdul is here. The folks in Gary in China, and then also in Japan, to understand your specific needs about additional services, support services in your area, and we will fund those services as we have new business that we can do. But again, our support team is fully committed to this mission. We all work together very well for many, many years. When we engage, we fully stand behind the vision. And I wanted to hear from the team, since not everybody could be here, what is their feeling about the sales and how they can help us succeed in 2019. And we're going to listen to a video.
Hey guys, this is Rafał, and I'm a Customer Success Manager based from Poland. I would just like to let you guys know that my colleagues from Cambridge, San Jose, Shirley, Bangalore, and Chennai have got your back. Happy 2019, and remember, game on!